here on this earth? Did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is Exodus, searching for euphoria, trudging through the mud to find the present, no ignoring us. 20,000 deep up in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head.
I feel glorious, glorious. Got a chance to start again. I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am, not put up again. I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious. I feel glorious, glorious.
I'm feeling glorious. The crib looking victorious. You know that we've been going it since we hopped out that DeLorean.
Welcome in, everybody, to In Off Bench Podcast. My name is Jim Cross. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Daniel Ball. Before we introduce our guest, Daniel, I got to tell you, man, you want to know how much Oklahoma gymnastics moves the needle? I left the LSU baseball episode to be here, and I didn't even blink twice.
You wouldn't even study it. Even if it was a month from now, not a problem. Still
Not a problem.
still
I mean,
right out.
right now it is gymnastics season. Everybody keep telling me it's 31 days till baseball. Gymnastics season is right now. We've been doing our power rankings. We've been watching the meets. But without further ado, glad you asked about the name. But Elle Mueller, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm doing good. Excited to be here.
I mean, I was excited until you bullied me on my DMs, telling me we better start on time because you got a schedule to keep. But all jokes aside, look, I need you to message my daughter, who's a freshman at LSU, who doesn't know how to be on time for anything and sleeps too much, about the schedule. Maybe we can rub some of that goodness off. But that being said, let's break the ice. Daniel was talking to you about the weather and the snow. You're obviously from somewhere that's but I was looking at the pictures on campus, just how majestic does campus look when there's snow all over it?
It's gorgeous. It's in summer, it's lovely, with all the flowers, but I'm used to snow and I love snow and a good old winter wonderland. And so it just it brings a new life into campus, especially when no one's here. And so it just makes campus very pretty and very nice, to just walk around in. So
Daniel doesn't like snow even a little bit.
That's false. I like the winter wonderland idea. I don't like the
He said he will
around.
travel to it with vacation purposes, but he doesn't want it to actually come to his home.
If your vacation is centered around skiing and snow is a big part, yes, of course, I can handle that. What I don't want is for my weather to be snowy for months at a time or having to deal with that. No, thank you. I enjoy walking my kid to school, and when it's cold outside, I'm thankful that it's not any colder and there's not snow on the ground. But I can't do it. Just can't do it anymore. I mean, it's 50 degrees and I'm dressed like a Eskimo here.
It actually got up to 46 at Daniels. It wasn't too bad today. But one more question, then we'll get into your story. Gotta know music. If you could go see anybody in concert, who is it?
I think it'd be Lana Del Rey. I love her music.
That is a new answer. We love. There's nothing Daniel loves more.
I'm gone. Summertime sadness.
Yeah, no, I love Lana, and I love overall a lot of different music. I didn't love country before I got here, and now I'm starting to like it a little bit more. I went to Luke Bryan, it's getting better.
Look, I was going to talk about it when we got to our Nashville segment, but since you brought that up, let me tell you, I don't like country. And the reason I didn't get to stay after and talk to y'all in Nashville was because my daughter was with me home for Christmas break, and she wanted to go hit, Broadway and go to a honky tonk. And so next thing you know, I left, didn't get to say hey to y'all, and I found myself watching this van just get on down to all these country songs and her trying to talk me into line dancing, and I was like, not a chance.
Yeah, I think line dancing is still a little too far for me, but I'll listen to some country music for sure.
I did recently, though. I went with my nephews to New Orleans for the Saints game. They wanted to go. It was their first time ever. And anyway, we stopped in to a country bar, and they were like talking because they're country. My nephews are country as all get out. And they were talking about the mechanical bull, and I said I never rode one before, and they're like, "You got to ride one." I was like, "No, I'm good." And so they insisted, and I got up there, and I think I needed to do it because the city boy in me thought it was real. It would be easy, and I found out real quick it really isn't.
It's not. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I've never rode one, but I've heard.
Like I've always judged, right? Like I watch it, I'm like, oh, they stink. I could do longer than that.
Exactly.
All you got to do is tell Jim, "Hey man, I bet you won't." He's like, yeah, I will.
I almost got out of it. Look, apparently it really hurt my pride, Daniel, but he made me weigh on the scale, and he's like, "We don't do over 250, no weigh 251." And so I looked at my nephew, he's like, "Sorry, can't go." And then he was like, "Oh no, I wasn't saying that. I was just letting you know." And I was like, I mean, what's the point of weighing me if you weren't even going to hold to your standard?
You said your cousin said you better go run.
But I'll be honest, we're on this podcast, and it's not even supposed to be about me. It's supposed to be about Elle, but just to give the viewers some laugh. I went so short the first time, they let me go a second time. That's how bad it was.
Man,
that's
you know, I gotta bring you in the right way. Let's get it.
Nice.
Randy's gonna be disappointed. Last night you didn't have his music request, but here you come.
Because I know what these words say.
Yeah.
You don't have to mark it with an E.
Yeah, no. Our other host last night, when we were talking about music, Daniel goes, "I can't play any music you want. It has too many bad words."
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I'll tell you what, Elle. Lana can she can do it now.
She can sing.
Needs to be her floor routine.
I'm telling you.
Brooklyn Moors has a Lana Del Rey floor routine, and I love it. It's so cool.
I heard. Look, do you know who NF is?
Oh yeah.
What was her name? Jocelyn, something from UCLA was doing to NF Hope, and I was like, okay, like I'm a fan. Like
that's
sick. They not like us.
I went to his concert a couple years ago, and it was so good. I would go again. I had tears streaming down. Like, it was a good concert.
Come on now, this got you crying.
That's a good concert, Daniel. Hater.
Oh man. All right, let's get to you now. All right. Ham Lake, Minnesota. All right, that's where you're from. I read it in the bio. Where is it Ham Lake? Is it Ham Lake? Is it something weird? Is it strange?
Nope, you got it. It's Ham Lake.
What's the backstory on Ham Lake? Like, why?
Gosh, I think I've never been to the lake, but I think there's literally a lake in the shape of a ham, like in the middle of Ham Lake.
You've never been to the lake?
I've never been to the lake, unfortunately.
All right, I get it. There's 1,000 lakes around this place.
There are 10,000 lakes. So
you can't be from an area that has lake in the name and go, you know what? I've actually never been to that lake. Ever.
I know. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud.
Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is all like a fairy tale that they've been telling you.
It's just a myth.
All right. So if I go to Ham Lake, what's the big claim to fame? What would you tell someone like me traveling there for a first time to eat, see, smell, do, experience? The one thing.
Oh gosh, it's really nothing too exciting. There is this restaurant that me and my family we really like to go to. That's literally a minute. It's called T-Box, and like we've gone there for 15 years. It's been there forever, so we really like to go there. But like we're on like the border of Ham Lake, and it like goes right into Blaine, and so like I spend majority of my time I'd say in Blaine. But yeah, nothing too exciting about good old Ham Lake, Minnesota. It's pretty quiet.
I'm looking at the menu, Daniel. I can get down.
The T-Box would be the second thing I did. I know you said it should be the first, but finding Ham Lake would be number one. That would be the first thing I would do.
I'll go with you there.
Look, I'm gonna do something I've never done on the show before, Daniel. I'm gonna type in things to do in Ham Lake, Minnesota, and see If it
You're
is
gonna be like,
the second thing listed.
There's nothing listed.
No, I'm saying it was the second thing listed. Majestic's Oak Golf Club was number 1.
Oh, yep. That is fun. That actually is fun. I've gone there golfing. That's fun.
all right. So the tee box. You said you went there with your family.
Yep.
Who does your family consist of? You got mom, dad, brothers,
So,
sisters,
yep, I got my
dogs,
mom.
cats,
I do
goldfish.
got a dog. My mom, dad, and then I have a younger brother named Ethan. He is now 16 years old. And then I have one dog named Ruby, and she's 5, I believe. She's a golden doodle. So yeah.
Oh, I got a golden retriever.
Oh, I love dogs. Love dogs.
Big fan of dogs.
That was
There's
about the only thing I liked about the snow was taking pictures of my husky and his blue eyes in the snow. That's about it.
Oh, I love huskies. They're so pretty.
that dog don't even like Jim. None of his dogs like him.
No, that's not true. Rosie loves me, but she loves me too much. She doesn't believe in personal space. I'm a cat person, to be honest.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never owned a cat.
That's why.
She goes, oh, interesting.
Remove that question from this or that. By the way, cats or dogs is actually on there, but I'm going blank. Emma Grown from Kentucky. Yeah, she came on with her cat, and I was like, yes, somebody brought their cat on. I like cats. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, my dog is in just within like turning radius of me at all times. It's strange.
Love that.
Yeah, it's nice until you're trying to like cook dinner or do something like that.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
all
fair.
right. Family, when it comes to gymnastics, obviously, family is important. I'm sure they have some type of influence on you and getting into the sport and your success in it. But if you look back over your early success getting into gymnastics, was it just family, or was there somebody in particular, like a coach or a mentor, or even just like an Olympian that you looked up to and you're like, man, that's my biggest influence in this sport?
Oh gosh. I would say like coaches, they really like pushed me to be my best and like pushed me to look past like what I thought I could do. And like what the goals I had in mind. Like they always had bigger goals for me, which I loved because it pushed me to like be my absolute best. But like my family, they just like, they always supported me, and they never put any pressure on me. They were always like, hey, like if you need to step down, if you need to do anything, like we're here for you 100%. And so that just helped take some weight off, knowing that they were just there and they always wanted what was best for me. But I would say there was no one in particular that like, oh, I take that back. Me and Lexi, like we really pushed each other like throughout our elite years. And so she just being by my side, like being the same age, going towards the same goals, like we were competitive, but it also was like healthy competition and like just again, like helped us push each other and, be there for each other. But
that's actually a refreshing answer. We don't get that all that often.
Yeah.
The inspiration of fellow competition, usually it is somebody they look up to.
Yeah. I would say, I always looked up to OU gymnasts. Like I loved Maggie. I loved I still do, I see every day. And so just seeing them go to OU, I was like, holy cow, like that would be a dream. Like it just was a dream I always looked up to. And so they were people that I always looked up to as well.
If there was something I could change, Elle, I didn't get into gymnastics till Daniel really got me into it 4 or 5 years ago. Like, and so when y'all talk about, a lot of these gymnasts from before I got to watch it, I was like, as much as I love it now, and it's like, I really wish I'd have been watching a long time ago. Daniel's been watching probably, how long have you been watching gymnastics, Daniel?
Man, to be honest, as a kid, I found gymnastics just fascinating. I never did gymnastics myself, but like I've always gotten into it. And then my wife, who, did gymnastics as a kid, but also was a dancer, she was a big fan of it. So we watched it all the time. And now
you remember it was Oklahoma that was on at your house when you showed it to me back in 2020.
Nice.
I had to show them the best.
Yeah, obviously.
But Yeah, and so now my daughter doesn't, so it's just kind of been in the staple rotation of
Mhm.
following for a while
That's
now.
that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. What's really cool is all these people that were influence on your success. It seemed like whatever they were doing was working. Whatever they were saying was working. Whatever they gave you to eat for breakfast, dinner, whatever it was working. I mean, the tea
Yeah.
box, whatever.
Yeah.
Because 2024 Nastia Lukin Cup all around vault
Mhm.
and bars champion, second place finish on floor at the 2024 Nastia Lukin Cup.
Yeah.
2024 national champion and all around, 2019 junior Olympic all around and beam national champion. I mean, you're the best in the world. Like when you tell me that, I'm like, geez, come on now.
Oh, thank
Give
you.
give somebody else a chance. I mean,
Now I know why Addison Feta didn't win. It all makes
well,
sense now.
yeah, because
Oh
of L.
gosh.
Oh, obviously a high level for a long time. What was your favorite place that you competed and like what was the event?
I think my favorite place so far has been Jesolo. I think that's how you say it, Jesolo, Italy. I loved that competition.
That's
Um,
that's the same answer we get a lot. I gotta go there, Daniel. Gotta go.
Well,
yeah,
what's
it's
crazy is like if you told me I was gonna do anything out of this country, I'd
mhm.
be like vacation time. But y'all go there and you're like, this ain't no vacation. This is a business
Oh,
trip.
oh yeah, it's all business. It's definitely fun, but it's all business. And like I loved the food. The people I traveled with, they were amazing. And it was also my first like huge international assignment. So it could have went like a good direction or a bad direction. And it kind of went a little bit of both. But it was so much fun. So much fun.
That's how you know you're really good when you stop taking trips, you start taking assignments.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time like
I, the
me and my
last time I
family.
was assigned anything, I was in school, and I
Yeah.
didn't like it then, and I
I just know, Daniel, you're doing it right. Your daughter's a gymnast,
Yeah.
and you have potential to go to these amazing places. My daughter was a soccer star, and I just got to go to all these amazing places in the South that were really hot and nothing exciting to do. I get to
Horn
go to
Lake,
Mississippi,
Mississippi.
Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama. Come on, man.
I I don't know.
Wrong
Look,
sport.
pump the brakes, man. We are a level 1-2 gymnast right now. We
Hey, you
are.
gotta
Sky's
start
the limit.
somewhere. You gotta
I
start
mean, she had practice today, and I I they have her way in the back with all the other girls, her
Hey.
level, and I can't see anything. It's just I can see remotely what's going on, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They all look like
I
they're
got a
doing a great
question,
job.
Daniel.
Yeah.
I was talking about she wasn't pressured. Why is it like we don't ever have gymnasts say they ever felt pressure, but we know how it is in the baseball world. Why is it different? Because we know they're equally competitive. So it's not like one's easier than the other. Why is it like baseball parents are insane? There's no other way to describe it, but gymnastics parents aren't.
I think it's because. Are you asking me?
I asked either. I just look. I don't know. I didn't raise a gymnast. I just know you go to little league baseball games and these parents are crazy. I stopped coaching for a
Oh,
reason.
I'll
yeah.
let I'll let Elle. She's gone through it. She can give you the firsthand account. Maybe I can add a little bit to it. But
Let me ask you this because I just can't picture El. I can't picture you being at an event.
Mhm.
So a kid can be on the mound fixing a pitch, and his dad is letting into him or fixing a bat, whatever. I can't see you fixing to go do vault, and your parents like you mess this up, you're walking home because you hear that in baseball.
No, no, they would never do that. No, and I know how baseball is because my brother does baseball, and that was my dad. Like he's not crazy by any means, but he just like he always wants what's best for my brother, so he'd be right up behind the plate, like, "Let's go, Ethan! You got this. Swing at this pitch!" Like I was like, "Well,
That's encouraging.
I'm
There's
glad
some
you don't
stuff
do
that's
that to me."
I saw. Look, I brought that example because I saw it. Look. I don't know if I went wrong on this, L, but I was coaching against another coach, and he told his son that if he struck out, he was walking home. I kid you not. Me and my wife were leaving, and there that kid was walking, and my wife was like, "We should pick him up," and I was like, one thing you don't ever do is interfere in someone else's parenting. And I was like, as much as I want to help that kid, I can't get involved in that. So I stayed out.
Nope. I bet he didn't strike out again.
No more strikeouts.
I mean, that's the crazy part, Al, is like
Yeah.
baseball is similar in a sense of gymnastics. Like there's a fine line of error. Like you're going to make mistakes. It just happens.
But
This
you're allowed
poor
a
kid.
lot more. You're allowed a lot more mistakes though in baseball and gymnastics. You can't afford these errors.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw. I mean, we'll get into it. Like hundredths of a point is what separates first and fourth place in these quad meets. Like it's crazy.
100%. Yeah.
But I do want to ask you about, once you get to a point where you go, all right, I'm good, I'm elite, I'm going to Italy to compete on assignments.
Yeah.
At that point, like I could go to college. So it was it always Oklahoma? Why did you choose Oklahoma? I mean, they're the best, obviously. I mean, that's probably reason number one. But outside of that, what were the other factors?
Yeah, I think I had just grown up on watching them. Like ever since I had like realized what college gymnastics was, like I just always watched whatever was on and like whatever my mom had turned on. But it also was like the culture of the gym that I grew up in, like TCT. It was like your ultimate goal to get a college scholarship. Like, and I knew in my heart that I could like get to that point. And so, I think, I took a tour of the school when I was 13 years old because I was so interested in it and I just wanted to see what the culture was like. And I was able to get a behind the scenes tour from Maggie and O of like their locker room and where we compete, the LNC. And so I think all of that accumulated just like really drove like my appreciation for the school and just like I just already established this deep connection with it, I feel like, when I got the chance to go and see some other schools. Because, like, I also had a coach who went to the University of Minnesota, and I really liked that coach.
I was actually going to ask that question because one of the things I learned following gymnastics now is obviously they're a good school.
Yes. Yeah, they're a great school. They're definitely on the rise. And, like, I had talked with them, and, like, I remember they offered
even Michigan. Michigan was great at gym. I want to say they won a national championship.
Yeah. And that's not just by luck. You don't win a national championship just by luck. Like that's so much hard work. That is just flat out good coaching. But also like you have to look at the schools that like you connect with the most. Like if you can just tell you just feel sort of like an outsider, you just know it's not going to work out. And so when I feel like when I came to OU and even when I went to Minnesota, like they made me feel like such at home and like such at ease. But then like I wanted to get out of the state. Like not that I didn't love Minnesota, but it was also nice to get out and like see how I was going to do for myself. And so that was another driving factor for me to come to OU. So
well, clearly based upon our beliefs, even as an LSU fan, I still think you made the right choice. I mean, let's start with the freshmen instead of the upperclassmen. I normally start the upperclassmen, but now that I've seen a couple meets, and Daniel, I think back to that graphic where it had potential freshman of the year, and you obviously see the names, and then at the bottom of the list it says Oklahoma gymnastics freshman. It doesn't even have one of y'all because there's so many of y'all. Like that's crazy. And so then I see y'all in person that first meet, and I've never seen depth like this in my life, to have the upperclassmen, but to have so many freshmen come. How amazing. You talked about, driving and pushing each other coming up. Like, how nice is it to have that freshman class where y'all don't just have the upperclassmen, but y'all can motivate each other and, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's great that we had such a big freshman class come in because we only like it may seem like a lot of people, like we have 16 people on the team, but in reality, like 6 of those people are freshmen. Like we make up almost half the team. And so we were coming into this like we have to like we're going to contribute this year. That was the mindset that we had to have. And so I think just starting out, we were all like, hey, like we got to push each other. Like it's it's our time to shine. Like KJ brought us in to compete this year, not just like take a year to like get used to it. Like, no, like it's our time to compete. And so, you know, it's all like, again, it's all friendly competition. Like, we have no, like, if somebody else gets in that lineup and like like edges us out of it, like, there's no like hard feelings. It's because like it's what the coaches thought was best. And so, you know, that's another like motivating factor. So I think it's great. I love it.
No, it's awesome, and to see y'all in that first meet,
Mhm.
every one of y'all getting the opportunity right out the gate. You know, I told you y'all obviously started on vault. I'm sitting right over the top of it. You know, you have Lily right out the gate, right? First one to go. What a like spot. You're a freshman, first
Mhm.
meet quad. Here you go. Start us off on vault, and y'all all did so amazing. No one would ever say if you didn't say that y'all were freshmen, know that y'all are so composed. You know, talking about that first meet, how good did it get? Did it feel, excuse me, to get that first one underneath your feet?
I think it felt great. I mean, I can tell it only brought us closer. And just overall, we really came together as a team, I can tell. And we just all had each other's backs. And so I think that really helped us, you know, perform our best. And, you know, we always say, like, we got your six. Like, if something happens, we're all there to, you know, pick up the pieces. And so I think that was, you know, a great start for us this year and set us up really well for this past weekend.
Yeah, and it really speaks to how the team is. And you know, you talk about KJ as a coach. Me and Daniel talk about just the program in general. Last year in Vegas, you know, Oklahoma comes out and does the same thing. Like you see, you see the other schools. Like to use one that was there, right? Auburn's struggling. We know that Auburn's going to get better and better, and they're going to be one of the teams competing at the end. But like to come out the way y'all did, it's the norm for Oklahoma, right? Like the first
Mhm.
meet feels like you could already be competing in the championship. And I
Yeah.
think it just shows the level, not just talent, but the effort that y'all are putting in. And I think that goes not with just the coach. That's where the upperclassmen come in. When you have the
Mhm.
veterans, y'all do. Like I was talking to Lizzie Blessy the other day. Like y'all really are the most blessed group. Like to get to learn from them. And you know, like me and Daniel were doing our survivor draft for gymnastics because our fans wanted us to do it like we did baseball. Like
Mhm.
he's going to pick. I picked Jordan with the first pick, and then he gets two picks back to back. Well, he picks Aaliyah. And so then I know he's coming back to Oklahoma. And it's like,
Yeah.
Faith or Audrey, Faith or who's he going with? Like, because you can't go wrong. Y'all are like, they're
No.
so elite.
Yeah. Yeah. No, can you just repeat the question? Sorry, I just totally
Like,
blanked.
just
I don't know
like,
why.
no, just fine. And sometimes I get long winded, but like getting to learn from them, like in your
Yeah.
freshman season, like just how awesome it is. Like I said, you learn from the coaching staff, but upperclassmen that talented.
Yeah. I think because they've been with KJ so much longer than we have. And so they know the expectation that she has for us. And so, like, they're able to teach us from their perspective, like, what expectations they have and, like, um, oh, I'm trying to think. Just they're always good mentors to go to, like if you need something, and they're always like, if one of them gets pulled, and you know, say a freshman goes in, like they always want what's best for you. They always want what's best for the team, and they always want what's best for you. Like it was between me and Davis for vault, and I was in vault, and Davis was like, "Hey, like let's go. You're in. You got this." Like it was so sincere, and they just mean every word that they just truly want you to do so well. So
What's that like on the flip side when you go to OKC and they do the reverse and put her in? Like, do
yeah.
you obviously want to get excited for your teammate, but do you feel some disappointment because you were ready to go?
I mean, like in the moment, there's like a slight disappointment because you're like, oh shoot, like what could I have done? Like what could I have like added to the team? But like you also know in your heart that like KJ's not going to make a wrong decision. Like she knew what she had to do, and you know, I'm glad she did that. And not that she's going to feel uncomfortable making a decision, but was comfortable to say no. Like we need to put Davis in for this, and you know what, Elle, I'm sorry, but like we're gonna like just take a step back, which is totally fine. Like that's absolutely fine. There's so many chances this year. There's so many more meets. And so like again, there's no hard feelings.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, the
at all.
camaraderie in gymnastics is just different. The way y'all root for each other, and then when we talk about Audrey's presence, like when that's the person that's replacing you, it's like it's not like it was another freshman, right? You're like, hold on, wait a minute, like that's my spot.
It's like it's an honor to like be in that sixth spot with her, just as like the coaches have that faith in me, and like it's an honor to be there.
So I got a question that I've never asked one of the Oklahoma girls, and maybe this is just me, and maybe it's crazy. Being in person or on TV, is there a presence? And this goes all the way back to Fort Worth. I was there last year when Oklahoma competed. It feels like Jordan Bowers is the most intimidating person I've ever seen. Like there are a lot less smiles from Jordan, and there's a reason like I refer to her as a machine. Like she's scary. Am I crazy?
She may seem scary, but she's one of the sweetest people you
Well, no,
will.
she's came on here and was the sweetest girl ever. I'm
Oh,
just talking
yeah.
about she's out there. Like I was in the military. That 1,000-yard stare that she carries is legit.
She definitely ain't saying anything to her
Yeah.
parents.
No, I think she just truly gets into the competitive zone, and she just truly locks in. And like after like any of the events, because I went up and hugged with girls, like she was just so sincere. She was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Like, and I think she just truly gets into the zone, and that's just what she has to do her best. And it works, man. It really works. So I think it's just her in the zone, and it's what she needs to do, and it's what's working.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it was like a bad thing. It's just one of the things, like I said, it was not just in person. It was on TV, and it's just like the way she does. But it is great when she breaks a smile, because then you know that she nailed. She did it obviously on that floor routine. But going to OKC, you know, obviously we're just talking about it, but I want to ask about the other teams. Just, you know, being a gymnast, that you talked about liking the competition, how much fun is it to, like Daniel was talking about, being pushed, like not running away with this thing, like okay, we've got to continue, like if we have mistakes, like we're going to get caught. Like how nice is it to be pushed like that by the best of the best teams outside of yourself?
I think it's great. I think it keeps us on our toes, and you always want to have a goal that you're working towards. And so we always say that we're like, even though we're in a competition with other amazing teams, and sure, we might have that in the back of our pockets, but we're always competing against ourselves, and we're always competing against ourselves from last week. We're always trying to get better and improve upon our scores and how we did. And oftentimes they'll even say like, do your best routine and the score will come. Like, don't worry about the score. Like, if it feels great, I'm sure you'll score great. And so I think like going from where were we? Nashville? Yeah. Going from Nashville to OKC, you could just feel the intensity. And so you just want to level up, because the teams are there to level up. So you want to level up with them.
I mean, it couldn't have went better. Obviously, you can always score better, but me and Daniel talked about it in real time. So when you start with beam, it gives you the opportunity. You get the hard one out of the way. Mm-hmm. And so y'all kill it, but it was when y'all did bars, and I was like, okay, like I know it wasn't over, but it was over. Like we were already talking about like every single person, like, and it was like, and so with, you know, knowing floors coming in, so it was a good competition where y'all were pushed, but I don't think me and Daniel ever felt like it was gonna go the wrong way. Yeah. But let me ask you about the next one, and then we'll play a game with you and let you get out of here. You know, you haven't got to compete at home yet. This is exciting. Freshman, first time to compete at home. In front of the home crowd against a top 10 Missouri team that's really good. Just, I mean, how excited are you? You know, what are the expectations, you know, for you? Like, you've never competed in front of this crowd. Like, are we thinking this thing's going to be packed, no seats left?
I think we're hoping for that. We're hoping to get over 10,000, and, you know, KJ's like, if we get 10,000, we're not going to have any less than that throughout season. And so I think we're just trying to start off with a bang, and, you know, obviously I'd love to compete and, you know, break into that lineup, but, you know, like every single meet is just as important as the last. And so, you know, trying to level up and, you know, get to the level where these girls are is, you know, it's just pushing me to do my best and be my best. And so, you know, it can seem intimidating, but really it's so motivating, and insanely exciting. So
Yeah, I sent Daniel the link. He didn't respond about the 2 premium floor seats open for every game or every meet. Like he didn't message me back. That was my way of telling him, let's go. Premium
Here,
floor seats. You want to do it?
here, here's the thing. I know that I wouldn't be able to make every one of them. So for me to take a ticket away from a young fan that could potentially change their life, like I
yeah,
can't do that to
Like
somebody.
if it wasn't so far away, Daniel, I told you when I looked, I thought Oklahoma had the best prices I've ever seen. It was $65 for season tickets, and you could pick your seat anywhere, and they were available on the front row when they released. I was like, $65 for a whole season for a row? Are you kidding me?
yeah. No, I think it's just trying to draw
Oh,
people.
I think that's what you got to
Y'all,
do.
Yeah. So yeah.
y'all, I'm telling you, that's a dang good price for a season ticket for
And watching the best of
watch
the
the
best. Like
best.
we're not even joking about it. You're watching number one.
Let me tell you a story, Elle, before we play this or that. All right.
Okay.
There was a time I live in Tampa, and there was a time I had Tampa Bay Bucks season tickets for a few years,
Yeah.
and I was getting ready to renew. And thankfully, my wife, the day I was going to renew, my wife tells me she's pregnant, so I don't renew. And
Mhm.
then guess what happens? Tom Brady. Tom Brady. And you want to know what happens to the price of season tickets?
Skyrocket.
But
Astronomical.
are you not grandfathered in? You have to pay the markup.
Well, I wasn't. So when she told me she was pregnant, I decided I didn't want to renew. And then he comes, and then now if I go back to get season tickets, like, kidding me?
How
They
excited
were.
would you have been if she wouldn't have been pregnant? Going the hypothetical, like how stoked would you have been though? Tom Brady's coming down and you have season tickets.
I would have been stoked to sell a lot of those tickets. I'm just kidding.
What
No,
a
it would have been
You're not kidding. You would have gone to half the games and sold half the games and made some money.
StubHub. Where you at, man? All right, Elle, let's get into it. This or that. This is a game that's very simple. We
Okay.
have a lot of baseball players on here, so anytime I create games, I got to make it very easy. So
Okay. Fair.
I'm going to give you 2 options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both, can't say neither. You just got to go with your head, go with your heart, go with your gut. Just be decisive and pick one.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, Jim, this or that. Who's it brought to you by?
Memphis City Design. Definitely had to plug them. They obviously are making the Oklahoma and off the bench hoodies. They would have the ones that are non-Oklahoma, but I didn't get to Oklahoma City to give them to them. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get them sent to them. They were nice enough to make Oklahoma, which we didn't have, but obviously they have like 30 different colorways. Daniel, they have specifically 8 different schools, 50% cotton polyester blend. They feel so good. Got to go get you one. Memphis City Design. Also, get your Grizzlies, Tigers, everything else merch.
See this icy white? It looks like a cloud and it feels like a cloud. That's what you get with these hoodies. All right. I can't ask you about dogs or cats because we clearly know
Man, that was my lead off. That was crazy.
where you are. So the first question:
Okay.
chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Chicken. How do you like your chicken? Grilled, fried,
Grilled.
grilled
Definitely
chicken?
grilled.
I like mine scrambled. I like eggs. I like eggs. Does that count as chicken? It counts as chicken, right?
What?
Oh yeah, that's
Eggs count as like if you're gonna or is eggs its own category?
It's his own category. What are you talking
I was
about?
gonna say I think eggs are its own category,
Oh.
but I'll go with it.
I got a question for you, Elle. This is the most random thing ever because we did this once a while ago. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Nope.
Look, I went to Houston for a baseball game and they had a hot dog sandwich. What they do is they cut the hot dogs in half and lay them over toasted bread. And I sent it to Daniel and I said I had a hot dog sandwich. And so I told him, I was like, I think a hot dog is a sandwich. And he was like, if you have to cut the hot dog in half to make this happen, it's not a sandwich.
No,
Oh
not
my
at all. I
gosh.
mean, it doesn't surprise me in Houston. That's just
They don't do that in Minnesota, huh? The T-box.
Not quite. Nope.
all right.
Uh,
Math or English? You're studious.
math.
Math.
I
You're,
hate English.
but you are Are you exercise science, kinesiology?
Exercise science. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to have a little bit of both. So
A little bit of both. It's okay. I'm taking both this semester, so
Not only
got
can
to.
she help my daughter with her sleep schedule, she struggled math first semester. So Elle's going to get paid for all sorts of things, tutoring,
Oh,
leadership, tutoring.
the greatest day, and I threw a party for myself when I realized I never had to take another math class again,
oh,
ever,
I
ever.
wish. Oh,
It
that's
was,
nice.
it was. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I took a stats class, and it was stupid of me, and I just needed one math class, and that was it, and that's what I took, and thank God I passed, and it was all downhill from there. But anyhow, lesson learned: don't take stats. Take the easiest math class that you can take.
Fair enough. Okay. Don't gotta tell me twice.
Now, all right, vault or floor,
Floor.
beam or bars,
Beam.
floor or beam.
Beam.
Psychopath. No.
Beam.
KJ's
No
turned
one
me
loves Beam.
beam lover.
No one loves Beam. Nobody.
I do. I do
I
love
think-
beam.
If you love beam, that means everything else should be that much easier.
Yeah.
'Cause that thing, like,
Vault, I have my days, but that's only when I'm tired, so.
You know what? I appreciate it, Daniel. She loves the difficulty. I got it.
you gotta embrace it. If you're going to
Yeah.
I just think
Oklahoma, you
back to
gotta
when we
embrace
had
it.
Aaliyah Finnegan on, who was at the time considered the Beam Queen. It was before she was killing it in the all around, and she literally said she didn't even like Beam, and I was like, I get it.
No, it's scary. You're on 4 inches, 4 feet off the ground, but I don't know. KJ worked her magic, so
If I didn't already, obviously, getting on the beam when itself, but talking about Fort Worth last year, watching 3 consecutive Alabama girls fall on the beam made it that much worse for me. I was like, literally the best girl. Like I'm watching Luisa Blanca fall off. I'm like it's bad enough I couldn't stand on it, but I'm like, I'm watching the best of the best can't stay on this thing. I was like, this thing's so scary.
yep, you definitely have your days on beam for sure, but I don't know. I feel like once you embrace it and love it, it makes it a little easier.
Right. Next one. DM or text message?
Text.
I feel like it's the same thing.
No,
It is the same.
you're the first one we've asked this to, and I asked this for a reason. There is a 99% chance I will get any athlete to answer a DM. There's a 10% chance they answer a text message. I don't even know why I have their numbers.
I always answer text. I'm a little slow.
Your
but-
teammate's one of them. Faith Torres will not answer a text because I've set her up with NIL deals, but she'll answer a DM in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'll answer both, but I hate seeing notifications on my phone, so I like to clear them out.
They walked around LSU and asked the students. They were asking them how many missed or unread text messages they had, and the answers by some of these students, Daniel, was like there was people saying like 1,300. Like,
oh God, that would I would
about
have
my
a heart
phone?
attack.
Like if I have 10 missed text messages, I'm gonna fall apart.
yeah, yeah,
Any red notification bubble on my phone,
it has to go
yeah, it's got to go.
immediately.
And this is how you know I'm like out of commission or I'm busy doing something is if you text me or call me or whatever and I don't respond, it's literally because I haven't seen it because I'm doing something.
I hate texting Daniel and he'll call me right back and say he doesn't have time to text me. Well, bro, I didn't have time to call you.
That's messed up. I mean, I'm a caller. I like talking to people a lot because I don't have to go through the whole process of opening up the text message, reading it, processing it, responding, sending, and
Plus,
then
I voice text him a lot, and he says it never makes sense.
it never makes sense. I will question everything just because if I have to read it 10 times to figure it out, like I'm not doing that. I'm just not.
And
I'm
I
gonna read
think-
it once or
I think
twice.
there's
If I
nothing
don't
more
figure it out,
frustrating.
I'm gonna.
Elle, we've never discussed this on the show. You're getting high takes. I don't think there's anything more frustrating than when I send you something and you put a question mark on it. I want to fight you.
I know. but it's literally because I've read it
And
once.
the
And I
best part
go,
is I'll send it back the exact same way after
Yeah.
you postmark it and say I said what I said.
I
That's
I have a
funny.
rule, Elle. I'll read it once and go, all right, this is on me. I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I'll read it again and I'll go, you know what? Question mark emoji.
It's not on me.
Nope, not on me.
That's
All
funny.
right. Disney World or Disneyland?
Which one's in Florida?
That would be Disney World.
Disney World. I've never been to Disneyland.
Well, Disneyland, I've never been there either.
I've
Jim's
just
been
went
there.
this summer. It's almost as good. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, that's
Almost
good.
as good.
It's about whether you want California or Florida is what it really comes down to. Right now, you don't want to go anywhere near California. Clearly,
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, definitely Disney World.
Sure. All right. Action movie or a drama?
Action movie.
What's your
Love.
favorite? What's your favorite movie? It doesn't have to be action. It could be whatever.
Oh golly, off the top of my head. I like Steel Magnolias. That's a good.
that movie's older than she is. Wow,
I know.
I never expected that.
That's very much a grandmother pick.
I know. I like it because it doesn't have much drama.
My mom might listen.
It is so sad. That
My mom
movie
might
is
listen
so
to the
sad.
show now, Daniel. Just picks like that.
I mean,
Oh, that's funny.
Here's the real question. Like, because notice I changed the kind of movies. I feel like nobody's picking scary movies anymore. Do you like scary movies?
Not my favorite.
See,
I remember the first time I watched Scream, I was scared. I was so scared.
watch it again. It's a comedy.
Oh, it's hilarious now. I laugh at it. But we were in my friend's basement. It was dark. The only thing that was on was the TV screen. I had no clue what was going on. So I was
just imagine, like, I don't even think you were alive when that movie came out, but
no.
you know, when it came out, like, we packed the movie theater and like it was scary stuff.
What I mean, on Halloween though, that's still like a popular costume and everything. It's crazy, but no, we had. I think what it is, Daniel, is I don't think gymnasts like scary because them softball players would always be picking scary movies. But actually, funny, your teammate Addison came on, and the last movie she had went and seen, and then me and Daniel looked it up because she said it was terrible and it was confirmed. Was it like Long Legs or something?
Long Legs.
And Daniel goes, that name didn't warn you enough.
That was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But, all right. Last question. We'll get you out of here. It's a money question. Would you rather me give you $5 million or would you rather get a national championship?
National championship for sure.
Over $5 million?
I could live without it. I could live without it.
But I could live with it.
I'm more of a saver than a spender at times. At times.
I feel
he asked Jordan because she already had two. He said 25 million for your third, and she still took a third national championship.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Yep.
If I already had two, I'll take the money. I don't need another one. That's
yeah, I feel like you could get like $5 million with like a lucky lottery ticket. You can't really get a national championship with like a lucky lottery ticket. Like, I don't know.
Daniel said he'd sell me his for 100,000
today. I'd have it FedEx to you overnight.
Well, when I get 100,000, I want all the hardware.
You got it, man. I'll send it right over to you.
That's funny.
But I want crispy mint $100 bills. That's what I want.
You don't take checks?
No, because I don't want any. I just want it under the table. Give me my tax-free cash.
Some Bitcoin.
I mean, Bitcoin. I could turn Bitcoin right now. I'd have to wait, but I could flip it. So. All right, Elle. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
I don't think so. No, it was great talking to you guys. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Of course. I will help you out. All right. Everybody, this weekend, the home opener, Friday night, the Missouri Tigers are coming in to be just demoralized. 7:15 SEC Network. OU Gymnastics is going to score more points than they've scored all season. Mark my words. This will be like the I don't know. It's like I don't want to say it's like you guys are showing people that you're here because you've been here, but it's like, hey, for those of you that think that this is different, this ain't no different. This ain't no different.
Yeah.
Here's our
Another
score.
plug.
Good luck.
You got to go to Simmers merch. Got to get that Miller, not Mueller, Miller.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, it's on my Instagram. Follow me at l.mueller.2024.
Yeah, you gotta actually say, because if they go to type in Miller, they're never gonna find it.
Oh, right. L.muelle.
Hey, you know something I didn't ask you, thinking about Instagram, and then we'll cut you loose. The ESPN promo and the pictures of it, how cool was it being like the first picture in front of the camera and everything? Like, you know, we're already talking about competing on that stage, but to like have ESPN, you be the first picture of all those 4 teams and all the gymnasts. How cool was that?
Oh, it was really cool. It just was like, I guess like my I made it moment. Like, I'm finally here. Like, I'm on TV. Like, I don't know. I don't normally go and watch like my past meets, but like watching that was really cool. Yeah.
Well, best of luck this season. Have a healthy, safe, successful, injury-free, and, you know, hopefully at the end of the year, all the magic that you guys put into it pays off in a national championship. Because
Absolutely.
we want to bring you back on. We want to talk.
Tell them you're going to bring them back, but just so you know, that's a lot of episodes if we end up having all 16 on. A lot.
Hey,
that'd be quite a few.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right, Elle, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to talk to you guys.
Yep, that's Elle Mueller, everybody.
Keep that schedule.
That's right.
Thank
If you like hearing Elle's story, or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like, share the podcast on Facebook, retweet us on X, listen and subscribe wherever you stream your podcast. We got Ethan Conrad, Wake Forest baseball, supposedly coming up. Not sure. There's some things that we're working through. We're trying to get it, but I'm telling you, you definitely want to see this guy. You want to hear this guy's story. So y'all go out there and hit them up on social media, Wake Forest baseball, SID department, because we love Wake Forest. We support them. We don't want any beef with them. Like, we just want to get the story of their players out there and share the good word about what Wake Forest is. Because I'll tell you this, Jim, I watched a hype video of Wake Forest baseball today, and it was legit.
Yeah, no, they always put out the good videos. And then I know you saw the video of Coach Walter talking to his guys. I love that. That was probably the thing that threw me most, when a coach fully supports what we're doing and takes the time. When I was at Vandy to come tell me personally, I just don't know how we're getting shut off, but we'll see what happens.
We'll figure it out. We'll move past it. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We out.